Hello, this is Hui. Welcome to watch my video Python scripting on Linux. In this short video, we are going to demonstrate how to use Python working connect to MySQL database, MySQLdb module. In order to write a program from Python connect to the MySQL database, we need to download Python MySQLdb module, which is the Python interface to MySQL. And because the environment we are doing the demonstrate is the Debian Linux, so we can get this from the Debian official package website. So here is the environment, and our environment is Linux, Debian Linux. And so after we download this module, and we got a file is .db file, which is a Debian package file. So we can use the dpkg method to install this. So dpkg method for the Debian Linux, which is the package manager for Debian. And if you are using another Linux, there's a similar tools on another list. So these tools is to install, build, remove, and manage Debian packages. So because we downloaded it's a .db file, so we can use that tools to install this. So there's a two file, and there was a Debian, MySQLdb, and another is a Python MySQLdb dbg with a debug. So first install this, second install this one. So after we download, we can use the MySQLdb module. So in order to write Python MySQL, we need to import this module. And so first what they do, we set up a host database. We create a database local host. There's my database is test. Port number is 3306. And we get the input from the console, the user ID, and the password. And for the input user ID, we use the raw input, which is the promoted user ID. This one input from console to the string, which is goes to the my user is a string. And the password we import is another module called getPass, and the getPass and the getPass method, and the promote password. So this method to get from console without echo back. So in order we type in password, we don't want to show anybody what our password is. So it's a more secure input. So after we got this one, and so this is my MySQL database. There's a connect string. So let's run this from another terminal. So this is another terminal to say, and so you can see we can connect to database. So our MySQL database working. We have to make sure it's working. So after we got all the necessary parameter, host, database, port, user, password, we first step one is to make a connection. So use the MySQLdb.connect method. So when this connect method, we pass the parameter, the host equal my host, user equal my user, password equal my password, and the database equal my database test. Port number is my port number is 3306. So this is step one, and we make a connection. It is pretty. After that, we need to instantialize a cursor. My cursor is using my db.cursor. This is we use for execute for our query. So step two, we initialize my cursor, and then step three, we need to set up a query like the string is the select market to from the market. This is our query. So let's go to another terminal to see our query working. So you can see my query working. This is the result from MySQL database. So, and after we get MySQL, it is my query, and we can use MySQL, my cursor dot execute my query, MySQL, which is a query. So after we get a query, we execute the query, and we use my cursor fetch all method to get all the result to the RTN, which is our result set. So our result set, we made first we print a query fetch all result set, the type, so we can see what's type our return of result set, and we know the type, we can write the program exactly. So so this type is the tuple, and so we just see there, we can verify after we run this program. So because it's a tuple, so we make a small loop, and for each x, actually x is each row of this return set, and when each row we have each x0, x1, x2, x3, x4, which is the column, because our query is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 column. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 started from 0. So we just print the column, and we can print the type of x, which is after this arrow, so we can know each column what type of data we got. And so if this is one query executed, so now we can, if we want to make another query, so we can just reset MySQL with another query. So let's say this query working. This is on MySQL, so this query working, return 1, 2, 3, 4 column, and 1, 2, 3 line, and 1, 2, 3, 4 column. So we exactly using same, execute my query, and fetch all the query execution to the return set, and then we make a loop to print the return set, and there's a 1, 2, 3, 4 column for each rows. So now let's save this, let's run this. So user ID is a test, and the password, and as you can see, so this is our first query, and we just print the return. After fetch all, the return type is the tuple, and we made a loop, so each loop the type is tuple, and this is x0, x1, x2, which column 2, column 3, and column 4. So there's 3 lines. So let's make it smaller. So you can see our first query, we got this is NASDAQ and NYSE, TSE, the result. This is our stock market table, and the market name, which NASDAQ is the NASDAQ composite, which is the name, and the NYSE, which is New York Stock Exchange, and it's a New York Stock Exchange, and the TSE is the Toronto Stock Exchange. So this is the name, and the city, New York. So this is our first query, and this is our second query, and is which from stock table, and so first is there's a 3 column, a 3 row, and NASDAQ, MSFT, which is the Microsoft stock, and NYSE JPM is the JP Morgan cash stock, and the TICE RY is the Royal Bank of Canada stock, and the currency is USD Canada. So this is our second query. So this is the one way to connect to our MySQL database using MySQLdb module. So in this video, we want to show another way we are going to work with MySQL database without using MySQL module. So we can use standard Python module. This time we using the OS, which is operating system module. In this module we use get my host, my DB, my port, and my username, which we use in the raw input from command from console, and we using the get path from console to get the user and the password. So in this way, first we build a string, which is MySQL, which is the select blah 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 from the market, which is exact same query we did for the first query in another Python script. Second, we build a string called my connection, which is minor host, local host, user, and we use a string, which is using my string variable, my user variable, and the database is the test, which is this. We try to build connection strings. So password, which is we get from the console, and we use -s. So this is our port number is 3306. This is our connection options. So we build our command, which is the operating system command. We equal MySQL string, which is the select from blah 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 from market, and the pipe, and we use another kind MySQL, which is my connection option. So after that, we build our command of operating system. So then what we use an os.system, which is running my command. To this command, using MySQL connection and run the SQL and get out. So this is using system. So this command directly running our query as Linux command. So, but this os.system don't return the value. It's like create another process and run and finish. So if we want to run the query and return the result to a variable and we can work on, so we need to use os.popen method with same my query command line. So this method return to the middle called f, which is the pipe, and after we got f, we use an f.read method to get the result to the RTN, which is a variable which in our Python. So what we do, we just print the type of RTN to see what's the result set we get after we use popen, my query command. And we just print RTN, which is the value of our returned value. So we print two queries. So now we save our program. Let's run our MySQL through OS. So user ID, go to test, password. So you can see, and after we get the user, we made a connection command. So what's our result? Which is we got a query, and this is our query from the market, and which is we got a 1, 2, 3 column, and each column the row, and each row has a column and a column, and separated by type. Each row separated by /n, which is return change lines. So this is we use MySystem.my command, which is so this next one we can use my os.popen, my query command, and we return the result into a string called RTN. So the type of RTN is a string. So if we use my command using popen, and we can get a return of query result into a string. So when we print out the string, which is one line, 1, 2, 3, 4 lines, this is the title. So exactly the same this as we do using the system. So in order we got our string, so we can use it. If we want to get the column, we can use a split by first change line to get the row of each row, and in this row we can use another split by tab symbol and to get each column which we return from the query. So in this way we can use the return result as a variable, and we can handle what's our query result through Python for any of applications. Hello, this is Hui. Thanks to watch my video. Hopefully this is useful, enjoyable, and it's going to be great to have your feedback. Thank you.